Welcome back to another episode here at True Wealth Financial. I have a special guest in the room, all the way from New York, where I'm from as well. And he came out to our in-person boot camp training we host here with agents with our agency and agents without our agency, but primarily agents within our agency. And he was he did over almost 6,000 in sales in your first ever days of selling insurance over the phone. He did 6,000 in sales in about 2.5 days. So the people want to unpack how that happened, what you do to get that many sales in 2.5 days, ever first time ever selling insurance over the phone using warm leads. So without further, let's kind of hop into who you are, your background, and why insurance.
Well, my name is Nazbi Chowdhury. 37 years old or young, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But actually, believe it or not, I was with FDNY. I was a paramedic. I became a lieutenant. I was there for almost 13 years. Would never replace that time.
Hmm.
But all that time there made me realize that I had a daughter. And then I realized I was spending 6, maybe 5 days a week out of 7
Of course.
at work trying to make money. Then I was like, you know what? Let me go become a nurse. Became a nurse, but things were better. I was home one more day than before.
Hmm.
So I was
Hmm.
still at work four
Hmm.
days a week,
Yeah.
sometimes five.
Yeah.
So nothing changed. The money got better, but it was still like I was looking for more money, looking for more money.
Of
Then I
course.
got into Airbnb. Then I joined a mentorship program, learned the value of like spending money to make money, right?
Hmm.
And then from there, I got in contact with Shanae. Shanae started to, do really well in selling life
Hmm.
insurance and stuff. So I reached to her,
Hmm.
was asking her questions. She put me in touch with Damon, and then one thing led to another, and ended up here.
Here you are now. How
Yeah.
beautiful is that? So you and you may need to speak a little bit louder so they can hear you,
Mhm.
Nasby. But so you came from New York to Ohio, and you came to our in-person boot camp here in our office in Columbus, Ohio. And this is your on Tuesday this week was your first day selling over the phone.
It was my first day that I took it for serious,
Yeah,
right?
right, right. So first, right. So
Yeah.
first day selling over the phone,
Mhm.
and Tuesday, what would you mentioned some things to some people on Tuesday around like 3 or 4 o'clock. What did you mention to someone on Tuesday?
So around 3 or 4 o'clock, I made 300, give or take dials. Got cursed out, got a lot of rejections, and I never even made it past the hello. It's Nasby. How you doing today?
Hmm.
Maybe once I got past that and was
Hmm.
like, hey, so were you looking for insurance for yourself or for someone else? And then click.
Hmm.
So I was telling Clark and some of them
Hmm.
like, listen, like, it's I started this around September. I was in the online camp and
Hmm.
then I tried and it didn't work out. Like, I don't think this is for me.
Hmm.
So, Clark, I love him. He was
Hmm.
super honest and he
Hmm.
said, maybe it's not for you, but he's like, you're here for 3 days. You spend all this money, you got here.
Yeah.
So, like, you're already here. Do
Right.
what you can. And if
Right.
in 3 days you can't sell anything, maybe you're right. It's not for
Right.
you. And
Right.
there's no shame in that, right?
Right.
There's always a reason to be here.
Right.
So I was
Right.
like, you know what? I'm going to put my all and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I was texting Shanae and Damien, like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, go rock it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think
So
like within an hour of complaining, like, I don't think that's for me, man. I got my first sale.
yes, 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 yes. So you spent, probably $97 to come to our boot camp as
Mhm.
we feed you with, lunch and dinner all
Mhm.
3 days.
Well worth it.
And and you obviously pay for your flight to get here and your hotel to
Mhm.
get, so maybe like out of pocket, maybe 500, $700, right?
Mhm.
So, and you bought leads because, most agents here for our agency, we're working warm leads, people that
Yeah.
actually want insurance, not being recycled leads, right?
Mhm.
So, you said your first day, you're dialing on Tuesday this past week, and you're dialing, nothing is happening. And then you make a sale.
I do.
How cool was it to make that first sale on your first full day? I would say dialing. How cool was that?
It was about as cool as when you first go to the gym and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do a bench press. And it's been months, you haven't been able to do anything. You can
Yeah.
barely lift a bar. And all of a sudden you were able to not just lift the bar, you put like 10 pounds on each
Yes.
side. You're like,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
I can do this.
How cool is that? It's seeing that like that shot go through the hoop, pretty
Yeah,
much,
it's
quote
the
unquote.
same, it's like the
Yeah.
same thing. Like you just like flung the ball
Yeah.
up and somehow it went in and you
Yeah.
made one. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. And that was about for 1,000 AP. And then yesterday, Wednesday, so day two yesterday,
Mhm.
you wrote two sales.
Yeah. So
So it's almost like this muscle that you're working on, like you said in the gym,
mhm.
it's being worked on pretty good.
Yeah.
Now you wrote two sales yesterday.
I did. Yeah. So the
Walk us
next
walk
day,
us through the two sales you wrote yesterday.
I was like, all right, I did it once, let me try and do it again. So I didn't put a goal up
Mm-hmm.
for boot camp because I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I don't, pick
Right.
one,
Right.
whatever
Right.
that one is, I don't care.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right. So they were like, how much do you want to put in for your goal? I said 5,000. So they were like, all right, go for it. So I think maybe dialing four numbers later, someone picked up. Um, I realized then that, well, from the first sale, I spoke to you and you
Mm-hmm.
told me that I had a voice and a personality that meshes well with a lot of people and I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to understand and listen
Mm-hmm.
to people. So you told me to lean into that. And I think at the first sale, I was kind of ex- over explaining stuff like, hey, it's whole life,
Mm-hmm.
premiums don't change, this, that. Like people don't really
Mm-hmm.
vibe with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
then I leaned into like, hey, how's the weather? What's going on? They were like, before there were awkward silences. Now I was like, while I'm doing this, you got plans for breakfast? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the deal? So made it through that next sale. And then I was feeling good, and then I kept dialing, dialing, dialing. Nothing happened. Went on lunch. I was like, all right, I got one. That's two. Like, pretty good. Like
Right.
the first day it happened all the way at the end. This time it happened before lunch. Like it's pretty looking like a pretty good day. Then after lunch, came back to it, dialed, dialed, dialed. Finally got another one. Um, you know, I took my time. I explained everything. We were vibing, and then there was a point where there was a little friction. It was
Mm.
about the social. They were like, "Hey, I don't feel comfortable with this," and I told them, like, "Listen, no one feels comfortable giving up their social.
Of course.
It's just something that we have to do only because if you give me the last four digits of your social, that's something that some people could get. But
Mm-hmm.
if you give me your full social, this lets insurance companies know that, it's really you and like no one is taking out
Right.
illegally and stuff like that.
Right.
And I don't know. He opened up. He said, all right,
Yeah.
gave me his social. And then we moved on to the bank. And, you were in my ear. You're like, say it confidently. Don't ask. Don't be like, hey, sir, please, can I get that bank
Yeah.
information?
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I need your banking information. Again, a little friction. Like, why you need that? He's like, same reason. How do they know that I'm just not making this up or your son is taking it out? They're gonna, see that it's under your account, everything matches your
Right.
name, and then,
Right.
all right, well, this is probably the right
Yeah.
thing.
That's
So he
amazing, man.
said, yeah, all
That's
right.
so cool. And then today's the third day. You wrote another sale. So you did like once again, you did almost 6,000 in sales in the last 2.5 days because today's not over yet.
Mhm.
And you've never really done telesales before at all.
Oh.
This is your first time even in sales, right?
Mhm.
And what would you contribute? Like, what's been the coaching like over the last 2.5 days here? And the environment in the last 2.5 days here?
So for me personally, like I'm someone that needs like honest feedback. Like if I suck, just tell me I suck.
Right,
Like I
right.
don't want to hear like, oh, it's okay. Get the next one, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
But nah. But everyone was really honest. Clark, like that day when other people would have been like, no, it's okay. Just keep trying. Maybe you'll get something.
Right,
He just straight up said, maybe it isn't. Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's
right,
not for you.
right.
Maybe you should go home after this and be like, oh, this is I'm done. But he's like, but it's only day one. You still got 2 more days. You're already here. You put the effort in and just see what happens.
Right. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, it's been really cool to see you working these last 2.5 days. I feel like on day one, you're like finding reasons not to dial, like organizing your leads, organizing your CRM. But now, like on today, it's like you're super locked in. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know it's just a numbers game. Especially with the leads we have here. Like you're just these are high intent leads. And if you get someone on the phone, it's gonna if you get past that first 2 minutes, you're going to make a close. Like and like because you're 6,000 AP. I mean, you're gonna at your commission level, you're gonna make a pretty good income off of that. Like you're not like it's a good comp level you're at. So it's like you now see like, okay, like I've done this much sales and helped this many people in the last 2.5 days. Imagine if I do this over a 30-day time frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like 6,000 AP over a 30-day that's almost like close to like 40, 50, 60K in a month.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about these last 2.5 days is that like the people you've helped. I mean, one client we're listening to when you're talking to them, she literally said, "I don't want to get off the phone with you."
Yeah. That was actually
Like she
today.
was so like happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you built some real connection with these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any words of advice you give to someone that's maybe watching this YouTube video today that is maybe looking to join the insurance industry, or maybe better looking to they have this they're looking to join the insurance industry and they don't know what to expect, kind of like you
Mm-hmm.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Like what kind of advice would you give to that person?
So go into it like I think the first day Jalen told us, listen, you're gonna have those days that nothing goes in, right? Like you shoot and you shoot and you shoot and you shoot and no one calls you back, no one's picking up, you'll get cursed out. And he said those are the days that are character building days. And like
Hmm.
it's true. Like I was demoralized. I was like, yo, listen, man, I don't know if this is for me. But then
Right.
like other people were like, no, you can do this. Like you just keep trying. Like what do you got to lose at this point? You're already here. And leaning on other people for confidence was a big thing.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to think like, man, maybe this isn't for me. Then people talked about the 8% rule and how like 92% of
Hmm.
agents
Hmm.
quit after
Hmm.
the first
Hmm.
year, which is fine. But think about it too. Like it's a low barrier to entry, right? All you got to do is pass one test. It's it's when you build that personality to be like, nah, I'm gonna keep dialing.
Hmm.
I don't care
Hmm.
what it takes. I'm gonna get someone to say yes. Or I'm gonna even the other thing is like you shouldn't even focus on just selling, right? Just getting that experience where you get them on the phone and you're chit
Yes.
chatting.
Yes.
Like I told you the first day, like I had an unexplained fear of dialing. Makes no sense, right? I was a nurse, so it was EMS. I spoke to people that were on the street, on the floor, shot. That was all good. But people on the phone, like I was like, I don't know if I can do
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
then you guys also talked about ethical selling because I was telling Clark that day, the first day, like I feel like, I'm just not good at selling. And he said, well, you're not selling. That's you got to get out of that mindset. All you're doing is guiding someone to what they want. Like they already
Mhm.
know they want it. You're
Mhm.
just telling them, well, ta-da, this is what I got. Like you
Yes.
pick, you don't want
Yes.
it. Oh, okay, bye. And
Yeah.
then go from there.
Man, it's so cool to see you the last 2.5 days, man. Like I feel like there's been times where I was people we were assisting you through some of these presentations you were having, and I feel like at times I was the one writing the sale, and I was
I had him
like,
stressed.
and I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much for me right now. Like just watching you, listening to you talk to his client, I'm like getting worked up, But it's been so cool to see you last 2.5 days, man. And I know like right now, like you feel the momentum, man, and it's so cool to see that. Once again, thank you for coming out to the boot camp, and I'm excited for your next, 30 days, 90
Oh,
days with us.
me
It's
too.
gonna be real exciting. So, with that being said, everyone, thank you for watching this YouTube video. You want to like and subscribe to our page. I'm sure you're gonna see him again in the next 90 days with even more results. Look forward to that. If you're not with our agency, you want to learn more about us, you can go to our Instagram page at TRUU Wealth. You can also send us an email at support@wearetruewealth.com to learn more about us. Catch us on the next episode. See you then.